So I'm watching a like over the Thanksgiving weekend, between eating, falling asleep, eating, the weather. Uh, some report that there was actually some snow here. I didn't see it. I mean, it was like I think the day after Thanksgiving, Friday night, where there was reports of at least flurries. It didn't stick. It wasn't cold enough on the ground really to stick yet. But checking on critters outside, all that stuff. I'm you know hunkered down and watched a TV show, um, Inside Man, yeah, or A Man on the Inside. I'm not sure. It's Ted Danson, the bartender from Cheers, Sam Malone, all grown up, old. Still's got this comedic chops. Uh, he's still got it. You know, no matter what you think of him, he's still funny. Um, he's got his comedic chops, they call it, right? Still got it. So yeah, it's old guy premise of the show. Old guy, he does the Donnie Brasco infiltrates an old folks' home. I mean, just the premise of the show. I was like, okay, Ted Danson, I'll take a look. And it's one of the you don't often find heartwarming TV shows anymore. And it didn't surprise me that I'd never heard of it because it was actually heartwarming. It had love and life and loss, and of course, I thinking about all of the good friends we've had, good friends we've lost along the way. Recent losses. Um, people dealing with stuff, people remembering, on the holidays, especially, when there's not much to do, you go outside and people, they stay in when it's colder. And so there's not a lot to do. And there's a lot of self-reflection that goes on, from, you know, mid-November, especially through New Year's and everything. And this one cropped up. I don't recall if I've ever done, uh, No Woman, No Cry, but it's, it was started rattling around in there. I started to look through, and I don't see that I've done anything with No Woman, No Cry before. And so I started to look it up, and I found the About Genius.com. It's one of Bob Marley's most enduring songs. No Woman, No Cry is a call to a woman in his life to be positive and not to worry about the bad times. Um, and Bob listed a childhood friend, Vincent Ford, as one of the songwriters. So Vincent ran a soup kitchen in Jamaica, and the royalties from the song, because he was the songwriter, helped him keep the kitchen running. I was like, that's Bob. No Woman, No Cry. And I looked up the meaning behind it and see what I'm going to Beat Cave. And this is by Warren Barrett. Um, Maybe I did. Maybe I just forgot about it. Maybe so much of this stuff runs together. Uh, this interpretation shifts from the focus from the absence of women to comforting and reassuring them, acknowledging their struggles and urging them not to despair. Uh, the lyrics paint a vivid picture of a poverty stricken neighborhood in Trenchtown, Jamaica, uh, and shines a light on the struggles faced by the people who live there, especially the women. And so found the lyrics, pulled them up here, and this is as um, recorded, uh, notated from live at the London at the Lyceum. Um, Never been to London, or I've never been to the Lyceum, so I'm not really. I don't think I've ever seen any concerts at the Lyceum, so I'm not sure how to say it properly if I'm saying it all wrong. But no woman, no cry, and no woman, no cry, no woman, no cry, no woman, no cry. Said, said I remember when we used to sit in the government yard in Trenchtown, observing the hypocrites as they would mingle with the good people we've met. Good friends we've have, oh, good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I say. No woman, no cry. And on, and no woman, no cry. Hey, little darling, don't shed no tear. No woman, no cry. And you gotta look it up for yourself. And of course, every little thing's gonna be alright. Every little thing's gonna be alright. Every little thing's gonna be alright. No woman, no cry. And so read it for yourself, listen to it for yourself. But little sister, don't shed no tears. 'Cause every little thing's gonna be alright. No woman, no cry. So when I don't suggest if you're feeling like you know down and out, that you just huddle and you know withdraw. But if you could be somehow obviously in a good mood and somehow obviously in a bad mood. And sometimes we don't know what it is that caused us to be in either the good mood or the bad mood. But um, you know, there's a thing I was talking about with someone about what the real meaning behind arrested development is. And you see some people that they look older, they look elderly, and they don't act their age, they act like children. And sometimes there's things in life that happen that significantly scar you, and you sort of actually stop your emotional development at that point. And you got to be tough in this world to when those things happen. You got to be real tough, because getting old isn't easy. If it were easy, everyone would do it. And if there was a lot, if people had the emotional growth, they were able to get over whatever that uh, significant trauma is in their life, or they knew how to do it, or had somebody else who did it and look up to them. I've had those that have had significant trauma in their life that I look up to them when I have a traumatic event. And so I'm hoping that my emotional development has I don't act like a child. But if you do uh, come across those, you're like, well, he's acting like a 5-year old. Maybe something happened when they were 5 and they have arrested development, and you need to treat someone with kid gloves. That's a pretty good sign that they have arrested development. So just think about it. Take that under. Uh, let that rattle around in the back of your brain before you get real upset about somebody else's behavior, because you can't control anybody else's behavior. You can act like a role model, and if they look up to you because you make sense, maybe that'll help them get past and deal with their emotional issues. And even when that happens when you're older, uh, stuff comes flooding in, and it because reliving that trauma and getting past it is a huge thing. Because you replay it, because oftentimes it's suppressed in Arrested Development. That trauma is suppressed, and you don't want to think about it. You don't want to deal with it because you're a child and you don't know how to deal with it. But now that you've been here long enough, you got to take a look at those things and say, okay, I need to deal with it now. And so once you've dealt with it, you get past that initial reliving of the trauma, and things become a lot easier. Your emotional development starts to get a lot easier, and you become more productive, and things get easier for you and those around you. And that's that. I guess I'll leave it at that. So